Hey, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be welding a fence corner for my field. We're going to keep some cattle up here, probably 2 bulls for the time being. This is our highway side, but I've got myself a little Harbor Freight welder and just a Costco generator. It puts out 240, so it works. Nothing fancy, but we'll be using 6011. I'm going to start it out at 110 amps. It's 530 seconds. That's what I found works best. The drill pipe I found, I do wire wheel the ends, but it's not the best shape. It's been a couple days since the last time I was out here, but we're losing daylight. It's time to get started, and let's see how we do. Alright, so as I get to weld and talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. So right now I have 18 cattle. I'm looking to expand a little bit, and I sort of wanted a fence that would last me a lifetime. And I'd heard bad things about treated lumber, mainly that during COVID the quality had dropped, and some people who installed fences back then had already replaced them. I'm not sure if that's true. I just heard it from a few people. And there's been a lot of this pipe available. It really didn't cost any more than a treated corner. A little bit more work, but I'll put in the work now if it means, not having to do it again in a couple years. So, at first I was looking for someone to weld it. I couldn't find anyone to come out, so I decided to just try it myself. And, not the best, but it is what it is. But if you like what I'm doing, like my video, subscribe. Maybe if enough people do it, I could buy a pair of boots and a proper shirt. No, I'm kidding. I was AI in the cows earlier in the day, and one of them got me, and I was doing my laundry, so this is what I had. Didn't even really get burnt. I was actually sort of surprised. But yeah, everything's a learning experience. But some of this pipe is magnetic. Sometimes I will wrap the negative or the ground around the pipe a few times, and it will take it out. Here I'm not doing it. It's more of a pain than it's worth sometimes. No matter what I do to this pipe, I'm not very good at welding it. When I weld stuff in the garage, it looks pretty good, but I just haven't been able to get this pipe down. It's difficult. You're outside, sort of rusty. It was sort of pitted before I did, believe it or not, sand all of this. But it's gotten a lot better than it was. Probably ain't gonna win awards anytime soon, but it'll do. This is the second one I've done, like the second fence section, and first one worked out. It's my first time ever welding, but it's holding them in. I guess that's all that matters here. A little bit more on the fence. So each one of these posts are 4 to 6 feet in the ground. We pound them in the ground using a skid steer, and then it has a post pounder attachment. We rent it from Ken Cove in Blairsville. The each cross section, the 2 7/8 pipe that comes over, it's about 10 feet long, and then we taper the fence out a little bit. We're using electric wire, so you don't want electric wire to hit something as grounded as a metal post in the ground. So it's not quite 90 degrees. It's probably about 10 to 20 degrees larger. So a little bit on what I'm actually doing as I'm going is my fitter wasn't the greatest. That's a good, it's very hot, but that gap's approximately the size of my finger. So I'm just going in, I'm doing a weld on the top, doing a weld on the bottom, and eventually, after a couple passes, I should wire wheel this now, but eventually it will, they'll meet and it will fill in the gap. Why this happened, why it was such a big gap, it's also, my dad's cutting the holes for me. It was his first time using, an acetylene torch, and I guess it went a little bigger than he thought it would. But, it works. A lot of filling, not the neatest weld, but I'll show you one of the last ones I did. This one's cooled down. This is before the rain a couple days ago. It's just been raining like crazy out here. It ain't gonna win any awards or anything, but it held them in on the last one. We'll go through, we'll paint it with Rust-Oleum, and hopefully this fence lasts me the rest of my life. We'll find out. All right, so basically that's it. I'll hit that with a wire brush or a wire wheel and hit it with one last coat possibly, but not the best welds. This is only, I've only welded this fence, a few minor things, but wouldn't call myself a welder, but this is the process we're going through. Cool. Hey, I'm back. So basically I figured might be worthwhile to show you what we did last year. And this is still also a work in progress. I have some caps to weld on, have to tension the fence a little bit more, but it is holding cattle now. So this was actually some of the first welds I did. And they aren't the worst. So we got these for the corners. Electric and metal don't really mix, but they were about 15 bucks a piece. I think we got a pretty good deal on them though. And then we filled the posts up with concrete, and I have a cap to weld on. But I've only done a couple caps. Then we use galvanized T-posts the whole way down. Bought them from a factory in Franklin, PA. Pretty far of a hike from our part of PA, but we just had them delivered. Then head up there. That's our gate. Get our gates, the heavy duty gates from Ken Cove. They're dip galvanized. Really can't beat them. But the cattle were somewhere around today, but not over here. But yeah, thanks for joining in, and I hope to see you again.